What's up, basketball world? This video here is going to be about the difference between being the best player and being the most valuable player. Some people think these two things mean the same thing. FYI, it's not the same thing. Can one guy be both of those? Yes. But can they be the same thing? Do they mean the same thing? No. What does it mean to be the best player? Well, if you've known for the past few years, 5, 6, 7, 8 years, you know it's LeBron James. The best NBA player. And no one comes close. Whoever is second place, that second place guy is way back there. Way back there. Whoever it is. The ability to play all positions on the floor. The ability to defend all positions on the floor. Versatility. Skills, talents. Your efficiency ratings. How effective you are on offense as well as defense. How much of an impact you make. Which makes a difference for your team as well as the other team, but the other team in a negative way for them, in a positive way for you and your team. How dominant you are, how much skilled you are, how much skills you possess, basketball IQ, everything else just all clobbered into one. And it's like, wow, who can do the things he can do? Who can do half the things he can do? To be able to play all 5 positions on the floor and play it well says a lot. Last time I recall a person like LeBron James is Magic Johnson. Well, LeBron James is more athletic than Magic Johnson is. Mirror Michael Jordan when he was the best player of his decade from 1990 all the way from 1999. 1990 to 1999. That was clearly Michael Jordan. Dominant performance, points, outstanding performances. I ain't talking about him winning his titles during that run, during that decade run, because he did win 6 titles in that 10-year decade. I'm going to just put that to the side. I'm just talking about him as an individual and how much dominant he was. He was declared best player in the league in that decade. He deserved it. So, if you look at now from 2010 to 2015, we're 5 years in, it's clearly LeBron James all the way through. You being the best player, you can do all these things and make a huge difference, a huge impact for yourself as well as for your teammates. The best player. He could dominate in multiple ways, besides scoring, of course. Points, rebounds, assists, defense, getting teammates involved, breaking down the defense. It's like, what can't you do? Oh, jump shot. Whatever. Somebody gonna say, well, he doesn't have a jump shot. Okay, that's fine. Still the best player in the league, though. And let me get to the most valuable player. Here's something I know about the most valuable player, MVP. Yes, Steph Curry won this year in 2015. When you are having a dominant season and you are making a big difference for your team in terms of winning, because that's the first thing, winning, your stats, your performances. If you have record-breaking performances during that season, then that can be included too. This is all based upon 1 year, that year, what you're doing during the course of 82 games. I also noticed that your MVP award winners for the last 20 years from today, you can look it up if you don't believe me, 1 seed in the West, 2 seed in the West. 1 seed in the East, 2 seed in the East, with dominant performances during the course of that season. 2010, LeBron James. 2011, Derrick Rose. They both had 1 seeds. 2012, LeBron James. 2013, LeBron James again. Remember, he did win 4 MVPs in the 5-year span. 2012 and 2013. 2012, 2 seed. 2013, 1 seed with the league's best record in 2013. 2014, Kevin Durant. 1 seed, 2 seed West. 2015, Steph Curry. 1 seed West with the league's best record. You could have a better season than somebody else, But that win-loss column does make a huge difference for you. I always like to refer back to 1987 when it was Magic Johnson and Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan posted at least 25, 5, and 5 with 50% from the field and had 200 steals, 100 block shots, becoming the first man in NBA history to ever have 200 steals, 100 block shots in the regular season. Despite his outstanding stats, which is this freaking wide and big, he was not your league's MVP award winner. He was your most dominant. He was the best performer. He was the best player in the league that season. I'm just keying in on that season, 87 season. He was the best player that year. Magic Johnson won the league's most valuable player award. Magic Johnson himself even will tell you the best player is Michael. He even said, quote, there's Michael Jordan, and then there's the NBA. Pretty deep. Magic knew who the better player was, who the best player was. The more athletic, the more skilled, the more this type of player. Even though Magic Johnson can play all 5 positions, Jordan can't. But due to his performances and how he impacts the game based upon his performances, yeah, Michael Jordan was the better one. Magic was doing his thing too. However, he was leading his team to victories. He had 67 wins and 15 losses, 1 seed in the West. Michael Jordan was an 8th seed at 40 wins and 42 losses. That's a losing record season. So there is a big difference between being the best player and being the most viable player. They're not the same. They're different. Now, can one guy be both? Yeah, that's possible. But normally speaking, are they the same thing? Are they synonyms? 2 different words but the same meaning? No, they're not. They're not synonyms, sorry. But one guy can be both. But LeBron James in 2013, that year when he beat the Spurs in 7 games, that year when he won MVP award for the 4th time, he was the best player as well as the most valuable player in 2013. He clearly proved that one. Also in 2012 when he beat OKC 4 games to 1. So yeah, and even this year's NBA Finals that just passed and Golden State took the title 4 games to 2, they pronounced it as the team with the league's best player versus the team with the league's MVP. Basically, they separating the two, right? They know the better player is. They also know who won MVP that year, this year too. And because you win the league's MVP award does not mean you are the best player. It's that you're more viable to your team throughout the league than anybody else was to their team and throughout the league as a whole. Don't get it twisted. Steph Curry's not better than LeBron James. Steph Curry can't even do half the things LeBron James could do on the floor to impact the game, whether if you win or not. Yes, I will admit that Steph Curry has a better jump shot than LeBron does, but everything else, LeBron got him. At 100% of that whole entire pie, LeBron James possessed 75% of that, at least. But yeah, I'm not here trying to compare who's better than who. That's not what this is about. I just want to let you know the difference between being the best player and being the most valuable. Last example, the Lakers. When Kobe and Shaq was winning their 3-peats. The best player was the guy with the most skills and capabilities. Kobe, he jump shot, free throw shooting, 3-point shooting, dribbling skills, other athleticism skills. That was Kobe. The most dominant was Shaq. Who was more valuable to the team? Shaq was. Then Kobe was. Kobe Bryant, you could say Kobe Bryant was the best player. Shaq was most dominant, and he was the most valuable player. Difference. One with the most skill sets and stuff over here, that can contribute to being the best. You can do almost everything or whatever the case may be. But how good is your team without this piece over here? Cleveland. We're going to take LeBron James away from you. He's going to South Beach. Let's see how good you are now, Cleveland. They had the league's worst record. So not only he was the best player for their team, he was also the most valuable player for their team. So then he comes back to Cleveland with little added recipes here, and then they go back to the finals. It's a big, huge difference between being the best player and being the most valuable player. You can be the best player and still not be as valuable to your team because y'all still losing. That win-loss thing is making a huge difference. Like what Michael Jordan was going through before he started winning games and winning championships. He was the best player. Even Magic Johnson said himself, he's the best player. But as far as how valuable he is to his team that he had, they still was losing. And Magic Johnson was the best player for his team, helping his team win, which made him valuable. That's all I have for this video. You let me know what you think of what it means to be being the best player as opposed to being the most valuable player. Give me your input. Tell me what you think. I'll be more than happy to read your comments, suggestions, questions, whatever that you may have. Share this video to your friends and family and whoever else out there for you. I welcome it, no problems. And I'll be looking forward to read your comments of the difference or similarities between being the league's best player and the league's most valuable player.